Today we're going to talk about KOTEM, a division of QVI, where we do dimensioning tolerancing. We have introduced some new products today. The design module, which helps the designer build better products through GD&T. Manufacturing, where we help manufacturing do better analysis of their product. Smart Profile, which verifies the GD&T data. And analysis, where we do statistical process control. Let me show you the design module. Over here on the screen, you can see the CAD design model. We bring it in and we do what we call a proofing, where we run it through the GD&T evaluation. On the right-hand side, you can see the results. Red means wrong, yellow means warning that there's something incorrect, and white means it's okay. On the left-hand side, if you do get a warning or an error, it gives you a detailed, context-aware directions, and then you can actually look up the actual spec on that side. On the screen now is the manufacturing module. It's one of the unique features of the KOTEM suite. We are able to bring in the GD&T data from the design and actually translate it to manufacturing coordinates to make it easier for the people operating machines to put the dimensions onto their machines. Also, we can bring in CAM data that's already been done and be able to understand what they've already been doing, making it even better to make adjustments to the product. You're looking at the CAD drawing and highlighting right now the 6 drill holes in it that we're actually showing you the data on the right-hand side. So these are the actual measurements and the X and Y and Z coordinates for the holes to be drilled. And on the far right is the actual distribution of the tolerance, how the actual holes have been drilled. So this tells me the distribution of my tolerances for each hole. So ideally, I want to be right in the center, and the further over on the red, I'm way off on the positive side, and on the blue, I'm way off on the negative side of the drill hole. Smart Profile is the presentation we're talking about now. This is our original product. It takes the GD&T data from the original CAD and brings it in for part inspection. This is general dimension and tolerancing data. It tells us whether it's in compliance or out of compliance. The red tells me there's a problem. The green says I'm good. So this is the actual measured part, the actual measured results. And when we look at it, we look at how much tolerance or room I could have made that part. And where you see green and the arrows on top of it, that's a good part. And at the bottom, you can see we have a red X, and that means that we're not compliant to the tolerance. We're out of spec. This module is our SPC module. It gives us statistical process control information. One of the exciting things about it is, besides having the typical graphs and being able to see the data for each collected data point, we also are bringing in the 3D CAD. And on it, one of the highlights you get to see is if you select, as you can see, these 3 blue fields, it actually shows up on the CAD, so you actually can understand what data I'm looking at in the big table form is actually visualized on the CAD, or vice versa. If you know that you want to look at a particular thing, you can click on the element or a point and be able to see the table above. This is the actual CAD drawing with the highlighted red dots showing you the data points of interest, which are shown in the table above. So you actually have real data. And you also see these green, red, yellow charts that show you the distribution of your tolerances are all showing right there. And when they're in good shape, you're green, and when they're not, they're red. And of course, over on the left-hand side, that's the table of data giving you each measure point and how it stands in the distribution compared to the tolerances that you were given in the CAD drawing. So this on the left is typical SPC charts with the upper and lower control limits, the moving average so that you know where your trend lines are going, and then your individual data points. And on the other side, you can see the normal distribution. This is a whisker distribution to show you where the averages are, and then a normal distribution on the bottom of the tolerances. And you're able to have all of this put into a database that will collect the data for long periods of time so you can do long-term studies. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short tour of the KOTEM Evolve suite. If you'd like to learn more, come to kotem.com and find out all about our product, or reach one of our sales representatives at kotem.com. Thank you very much for your time today.